Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Epic Sports Broadcasting Network for tonight's episode of Heartland Championship Wrestling. My name is Dave Little. We are coming to you live from the Dave Cave with action from Patriot Championship Wrestling in Washington, D.C., the D.C. Armory, playing host to tonight's action. And a very exciting main event. We've got two title matches tonight. The main event will be for the Patriot Heavyweight Championship as Buddy Rogers, the original Nature Boy, defends against ravishing Rick Rude. And we have got Al, Red Sox fan, first in line at the turnstile tonight. Jeff Stafford is here. Woo, says Jeff Stafford. Neil Lau is here. It is just getting to be the coolest place on YouTube, with all the great fans who have tuned in for tonight's action. Also tonight, the North American Heavyweight Championship will be on the line as Johnny Valentine defends against VADER. We'll also see tag team action with the Rock and Roll Express taking on the team of Doom. And in our opening contest of the televised broadcast of the show, we'll have Roddy Piper and Stan Stasiak. Piper and VADER, of course, very popular here in the Patriot territory as members of the rock and roll band known as Bagpipes, Body Slams, and Beatboxing. And that crew consists of course, VADER on lead vocals, Roddy Piper on the accordion, on the bagpipes, Mark Henry on the accordion, and none other than Percy Pringle III, aka Paul Bearer, providing the beatboxing. And tonight they made a special guest appearance to open the show with a very special rendition of Happy Birthday, addressed to both yours truly and also Dave Gardner, who shares that birthday with me on April 19th. And yesterday was a festive day, as here in the Dave Cave, yours truly rolled over the odometer, 60 years old as of yesterday, and still feeling and acting very much like an adolescent. And thank you to all of you who said hello on Facebook. I need to get on and return the comments tonight after the show. But right now, it is Saturday night, and that means it is time for wrestling as Derek Bauman hits the chat room, accompanied by Dwayne Martz of the Dwayne Martz YouTube network. Always fun stuff from Dwayne Martz. Al, Red Sox fan, a couple of stellar YouTube channels represented here tonight. And in the immortal words of Al, Red Sox fan, check out those wonderful channels. All right, we are ready for action here tonight with our opening contest. The following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 30-minute time limit. Disqualification rules will be in effect, as this is a standard singles match. Introducing first, he stands at 6'4". He weighs 325 pounds from Buzzard Creek, Oregon. This is Stan the Man Stasiak. And his opponent from Glasgow, Scotland. He stands at 6'2", weighs 232 pounds. It is Roddy Piper. So Piper and Stasiak set to kick off the televised portion of the show here tonight from the D.C. Armory in Washington, D.C. And here we go. The opening initiative role is won by Stasiak. And it is Stasiak who comes out with a kick to the gut, doubling over Piper. Piper now eats a headbutt from Stan Stasiak. But Piper is going to fire right back after that headbutt. And it is Piper with a flurry of punches that puts Stan Stasiak on the defensive. But Stasiak is going to come right back with another big headbutt, and Piper is stunned. Stasiak back on the offensive, running knee smash stuns Roddy Piper. And now a back elbow from Stasiak keeps him in control. Stasiak starting out very physical tonight. Now a series of punches from STASIAK, and Piper on the defensive. Another big running knee smash has Roddy Piper backpedaling. And another big headbutt from STASIAK. STASIAK doing lots of damage, but Piper standing his ground. As STASIAK comes with another running knee smash, and with that, Piper hits the floor, hits the mat and rolls out of the ring and down to the arena floor. Both these men A-rated performers on the arena floor, so anything can happen here. But on a roll of 8, it is STASIAK who wins the brawl on the arena floor and rams the back of Roddy Piper into the ring apron. That doesn't feel good for Roddy Piper. STASIAK now with the opportunity for the heart punch. That is his finisher. There is a mechanic on the heart punch where he couldn't miss on a roll of 2 to 6. And sure enough, on a roll of 6, Piper able to dodge the heart punch, and STASIAK misses and hits the ring post. And that will reduce the effectiveness of the heart punch from a +3 to a +1. So STASIAK suffers a hand injury early in this match, and that gives Roddy Piper the opportunity to take control. And Piper with a big bulldog drops STASIAK. Piper going for the cover. The pin roll here will be Snake Eyes, but on a roll of 9, STASIAK able to kick out. Now Piper in control. Piper is going to go up for a death jump. Death jump C is the rating for STASIAK, and on a roll of 6, that is an awesome flying clothesline off the top rope from Piper that puts STASIAK back down to the mat. And now Piper with a big back suplex that is going to put STASIAK back on the canvas. And now STASIAK is going to roll out of the ring and down to the arena floor. And on a roll of 5, that is the double disqualification roll. Either man could be disqualified here. Piper will not be disqualified. STASIAK will not be disqualified. Now we go to the odd-even roll, with Piper getting the advantage on an even roll, and on a roll of 5, it is STASIAK winning the brawl on the outside with a body slam onto the arena floor. So Stan, the man STASIAK, back and forth with Roddy Piper here. STASIAK now is going to continue action out of the ring. Will we see shenanigans here? Not yet. That takes a roll of 9 or higher. Instead, Piper on the arena floor on a roll of 7. That is the best man wins roll. Again, both these men A-rated performers, meaning that the wrestler on offense, in this case STASIAK, wins the brawl, and it is STASIAK with a nasty pile driver onto the ring steps. That's got to hurt. And that's got to hurt not just the ring steps. Piper is stunned now as STASIAK has taken control. And as they come back into the ring, it is STASIAK with a grinding 20-count headlock trying to force the submission. The submission roll here will be Snake Eyes, but on a roll of 9, Piper is able to survive that nastiness. And STASIAK maintains control. STASIAK again maintains that headlock. And now Piper has a mechanic on roll 2 to 5. And on a roll of 3, Piper uses a foreign object. Piper pulls a foreign object and hits Stan the Man STASIAK with a trash can. How about that? We'll see a DQ here on a roll of 5 or lower. We will not. That becomes a 0 finisher. And the pin roll here will be 3 or lower. And on a roll of 7, STASIAK able to kick out. So STASIAK survives the trash can. Piper now back in control. And it is Piper going to the figure 4 leg lock, trying to weaken his foe. Piper now follows that up with a bite to the forehead. Oh, that's nasty. STASIAK not liking that. STASIAK comes back with a pump handle armbar. Again trying for a submission here on a roll of 3 or lower. But on a roll of 11, Piper survives and the match will continue. Very good match. Going back and forth between these two men. STASIAK now back in control with a high suplex. Up, over, and down to the canvas hard goes Piper. STASIAK is going to pitch Piper out of the ring again and down to the arena floor. And this time on a roll of 10. That is the foreign object chart. It's STASIAK's turn with the foreign object. And Stasiak just nails Roddy Piper with a pair of brass knuckles. That's not nice. Will we see a disqualification here? We will not. And Stasiak is now in control as the match heads back into the ring. And Stasiak with another big high suplex. And now it is Piper going to roll out of the ring. Will we go shenanigans? We will not. Piper on the out of the ring chart on a roll of 9 is forced to crawl back in helplessly as Stasiak is awaiting him with mayhem in mind. Stasiak, another big high suplex. This time Piper finally getting to his feet. And Stasiak is going to go for a choice B maneuver. Choice B. That's either an agility roll against a -2 or a whip to the turnbuckle B. So we'll go with the whip to the turnbuckle by Stasiak. And on a roll of 8, it is a big kick by Stasiak that stuns Roddy Piper. Boy, the fans are solidly behind Piper, but Stasiak acquitting himself well in this match. Stasiak now on the offense and is going to go with another kick to the gut that doubles over Roddy Piper. Stasiak with a big back elbow, keeping Piper at bay. And Stasiak now with another big headbutt, using that big cranium as a weapon. And now a running knee smash from Stasiak puts Piper down onto the canvas. Piper is down. Stasiak with a chance to do more damage here. Another big high suplex by Stasiak. And Piper has the wind knocked out of him on the canvas. And now as both men get to their feet, it is Stasiak still in control. Going back to that pump handle armbar. Piper trying to get to his knees as Stasiak maintains control of the armbar. And now Stasiak attempts a running stomp, but that's an agility move. And Piper gets out of the way of that. Piper now in control, and Piper with a bulldog just dumps Stasiak down to the canvas. Wow, these guys are going back and forth. And now it is Piper with another bulldog that puts Stasiak down, and he stays down. Piper now with a chance to do some damage. Piper going up for a death jump. And on the roll of 7, it is a flying axe handle off the top turnbuckle that stuns Stan Stasiak. Piper now is going to take action back out of the ring. And on a roll of 7, that's the best man wins roll. That goes to Piper, the wrestler on offense, and Piper with a throat drop onto the security railing on Stan the Man Stasiak. Boy, we've seen it all in this match. Inside the ring and out, multiple foreign objects used. And now Piper is in control with another big back suplex, taking Stasiak down to the canvas. Come on, Hot Rod, says Miho Burns in the chat room. Welcome to you, my friend. Here's Piper now with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Stasiak, and on a roll of 8, it is a running back elbow delivered by Roddy Piper. And Piper is still in control here. He is going to follow that up with a double forearm clap across the ears of Stasiak. Stasiak a little disoriented. Both men getting to their feet now. And it is Stasiak missing a running stomp once again. Piper with the agility advantage. Piper now with a whip to the ropes. Off the ropes comes Stasiak, and on a roll of 5, that is a running shoulder tackle delivered by Stasiak that puts Piper back down to the canvas. A series of punches by Stasiak. Piper again leaving the ring down to the arena floor. And on a roll of 5, again, the double disqualification roll takes place. Piper will not be disqualified. Stasiak rolls 1-5. On a roll of 5 or lower, he'll be disqualified here. But on a roll of 11, the referee's going to let him fight. And on the odd even roll, it is Roddy Piper winning the brawl on the arena floor and dropping Stasiak's stomach first now across that security railing. Piper using the security railing in very creative ways to try and subdue a man almost 100 pounds bigger than him. Piper now goes to the sleeper. Sleeper hold applied. That's his finisher. It's a +2. The submission roll here will be 6 or lower. And on a roll of 8, Stasiak able to get to the ropes. Wow, Stasiak barely survives the sleeper. Piper now is going to take things out of the ring yet again. Will we see shenanigans here? We will not. As Stasiak will roll on the out of the ring. And on a roll of 6, that is a clean win for Stasiak. And it is Stasiak with a suplex onto the arena floor. Big suplex by Stan Stasiak. Will he be disqualified for brawling on the arena floor? The answer is no. Stasiak back in control. And now Stasiak for the heart punch. It's a +1 now. He can still miss it on a roll of 2 to 6. And he misses the heart punch again. Roddy Piper lucky to survive. And Piper now with a bulldog puts Stasiak back down onto the canvas. Boy, twice Piper has been able to avoid that heart punch. Piper now with a bulldog taking Stasiak back down to the mat. Piper follows that up with a headlock and a punch to the side of the head. Both men on their feet, slugging it out in the middle of the ring. Piper with a flurry of punches. Stasiak now on the defensive. Piper with another big bulldog. Stasiak leaving the ring. And this time we will see shenanigans on the arena floor. Out of the ring again we go. Here comes the chart. It is Stasiak who is out of the ring causing trouble. And on a roll of 1, it is the tables. Stasiak out of the ring and is going to try and set up a table. And on a roll of 5, the table has been set, on a roll of 4, the table is set up on the arena floor. But both men have to go back into the ring to avoid the 10 count. So there is now a table on the arena floor. Both men are back in the ring. And it is Stasiak who is going to take control after setting up the table on the outside of the ring. Piper came to interrupt him, and Stasiak shoved Piper into the ring post. Stasiak now in control, and is Stasiak who has a choice H opportunity. That's either going to be a flying elbow drop against an agility of -2 or a death jump. So Stasiak is going to go up for the death jump charge. And on a roll of 6, he hits it. And Piper is down. Stasiak again going to the heart punch. Can he hit it this time? Indeed he does. The pin roll here 5 or lower. And on a roll of 7, Piper kicks out. Wow. Piper still able to survive the heart punch. And now both men are digging deep as we roll out of the ring once again. Will we see shenanigans here? No, we will not. Piper getting the out of the ring roll, and on a roll of 6, that's a clean win for Piper, as Piper hits Stasiak with a diving clothesline off of the ring apron. Will we see a disqualification here? We will not. Piper now back in control. Piper with a swinging neck breaker puts Stasiak down. Piper going for the cover. The pin roll is 5, and on a roll of 5, he got him. What an opening matchup we have just seen. A great opener as Roddy Piper defeats Stan Stasiak with a swinging neck breaker. After a match that had everything, foreign objects, brawls on the arena floor, we almost had a table set up. And for the record, just as a little added flavor, for the rest of the show, that table will still be set up at ringside. In the event that one of the other matches rolls out of the ring, we may see that ringside table come into play. But for the opening matchup, your winner by pinfall after a spinning neck breaker is Roddy Piper. Congratulations to the Rowdy Scott for an excellent opening match victory in a hard-fought battle over Stan Stasiak. All right, let's see what we've got going on here in the chat room. When we last left the chat room, Miho Burns came in. Welcome to you, my friend. Stasiak currently one half of the Great North Wrestling World Tag Team Champions with Ox Baker, the Heartstoppers. That's a good team. I may think about bringing that team into play. Good match to open the show. One match, and Jeff Stafford is already hoarse. I offer my sincerest mock apologies for that. But yeah, glad you enjoyed the opening contest. The rest of the show will have to be something special to match the quality of that first match. thanks to Roddy Piper and Stan Stasiak. As we shuffle up the out of the ring cards. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 45-minute time limit. This is a tag team match. Disqualification rules will be in effect. Introducing first at a total combined weight of 537 pounds. From Warner Robins, Georgia, this is Ron Simmons and his tag team partner out of Kansas City, Missouri, Butch Reed, collectively known as Doom. And their opponents out of Memphis, Tennessee, at a total combined weight of 450 pounds even. It is the team of Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson, the Rock and Roll Express. So we've got Doom, we've got the Rock and Roll Express set for tag team action here in Washington, D.C. for your viewing pleasure on the Epic Sports Broadcasting Network. So we'll get the markers set up here. The white markers, of course, are fatigue tokens, and the colored markers are for tracking pin saves or outside interference rolls. And we are ready to go now with our next match. And it will be Robert Gibson starting things off against Butch Reed as these two teams square off in tag team action. Both teams looking to advance in the tag team ranks. The current tag team champions in Patriot Championship Wrestling are the British Bulldogs. But the Bulldogs, as you may be aware, have qualified for a World Tag Team Championship match against Jack and Jerry Briscoe that is scheduled for next week's pay-per-view. The Twilight Zone pay-per-view is scheduled on the calendar for next Saturday. Not sure if I'll make it to the air next Saturday. We'll talk about that at the end of the show. In any event, we're ready for action here, and the opening initiative roll is tied. And that means Robert Gibson is going to the face to the mat highlight book to see what kind of shenanigans may happen in this tag team situation. The Highlight Center booklet brought to you by Play.com, and on a roll of 4-4, it is the object roll. There is no object in play here. So Robert Gibson not one to use the foreign object, and instead it is a cheap shot by the opponent's partner. So Reed and Gibson come to the center of the ring. Ron Simmons delivers a cheap shot to Robert Gibson, and that's going to put Butch Reed on the offense here at the beginning of this match, and Reed comes right out with a attempt at a jumping knee smash, but that's an agility move, and Robert Gibson able to get out of the way of that, and it is Gibson foolishly attempting a body slam, that would be a level 2 move, so that would be a whip to the turnbuckle. Reed whipped into the turnbuckle, and on a roll of 4, it is Robert Gibson who goes hurtling into the corner. Reed moves out of the way. Gibson hits the ring post hard and rolls out of the ring and down to the arena floor. That's not where Robert Gibson wants to play, and on a roll of 9, it is Butch Reed coming out to do his damage and ramming the back of Robert Gibson into the ring apron. And as we all know, the ring apron is the hardest part of the ring. Butch Reed now in control as action returns to Butch Reed is going to keep things on the arena floor. Already an opportunity for shenanigans. We'll not see shenanigans. Instead, we will see Robert Gibson get the jump on Butch Reed, pull him back out of the ring, and it is Robert Gibson, with help from his partner, body slamming Butch Reed onto the arena floor. So the teamwork of the Rock and Roll Express pays off there. Gibson now in control, and just like that, the Rock and Rolls are going to hit that double drop kick. That is a +3 finisher. Butch Reed has been covered. Ron Simmons has to come in for the pin save as the pin roll is 6, and on a roll of 8, Simmons is late to the party. We may see a quick pinfall here on a roll of 6 or lower, and on a roll of 6, they got him. How about that? Robert Gibson with a quick pinfall victory over Butch Reed with a double drop kick. Our first match took about 45 minutes. That match took about 45 seconds. As the Rock and Roll Express teamwork on the arena floor with a body slam. Teamwork in the ring with a double drop kick, and Ricky Morton able to hold off Ron Simmons while Robert Gibson makes the cover. And the Rock and Roll Express are your victors in tonight's tag team matchup. How about that? So yeah, Jeff Stafford and Miho Burns exchanging greetings. Rock and Roll Express, dang hippies, they won that match. Heel Briscoes, says Jeff Stafford. Interestingly, yeah, Jack and Jerry Briscoe are wrestling as essentially heels, although they're the world champions. So they're not. So they're really most renowned for their collective abilities in the ring. Their attitude is more heelish, and I think the fans will favor the British Bulldogs. Mark and Jay Briscoe, the new era Briscoe brothers, are also active in Patriot Championship Wrestling, and they've got a tag team title match in their pocket. So if the Bulldogs do not win the NWA World Tag Team Champions, they'll have Mark and Jay Briscoe waiting on them when they return to Patriot Championship Wrestling. In the words of Ron Simmons, damn! Damn indeed, as Simmons sees his partner get pinned. And the Rock and Roll Express emerge victorious here tonight in Washington, D.C. And that brings us to our first of two championship matches for the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall with no time limit and no disqualification. All matches for the North American Heavyweight Championship are no disqualification by rule. Introducing first the challenger. He stands at a monstrous 6'5" tall, weighing 452 pounds. He is accompanied to the ring by Percival Pringle III. Out of the Rocky Mountains of Colorado, this is Vader. And his opponent hails from Seattle, Washington. He stands at 6'4", weighs 255 pounds. He is accompanied to the ring by James J. Dillon. He is your reigning and defending North American Heavyweight Champion. This is Johnny Valentine. So Johnny Valentine to take on Vader here tonight in Washington, D.C. for the North American Heavyweight Championship, with their respective managers watching closely. And we are ready for action here in the main event, or excuse me, in this North American title match. This could be a main event any place in the world. But right now it is Valentine and Vader face to face in the center of the ring. And the opening initiative role is won by Valentine, the champion. And it is Valentine who comes out with an attempt at an arm drag. Not easy to arm drag 452 pounds, so Vader blocks that. And Vader is going to go for a power elbow drop, a choice E maneuver. Choice E. Choice E will be a option between a level 3 move on agility of 9 or lower. That's going to be the way to go. So Vader going for the power elbow drop on 9 or lower, and on a roll of 8, he scores with it. And he stuns Johnny Valentine. Valentine getting back to his feet. Vader's on him with another big power body slam. This time Valentine goes down and stays down. Valentine now in trouble as Vader is going for the release power bomb. That's a +2 finisher. The pin roll here is 3 or lower. And on a roll of 6, Valentine able to get his left shoulder up. But Vader right away taking control. He wants this title, and he wants it in a big way. Vader now going for the Vader bomb. That's a +1 finisher. The pin roll here, 3 or lower. And on a roll of 10, Valentine again able to get his left shoulder free. But Valentine already has absorbed 2 huge power moves by Big Van Vader, and the North American Heavyweight Championship is in jeopardy as Vader comes back now with a big suplex, taking Valentine down to the canvas. Vader follows that up with another big power body slam, another cover. The pin roll here 3 or lower, and on a roll of 5, it is Valentine who is once again able to kick out. That is 3 tokens of fatigue, and that means it is time for the manager to do something about it. Interestingly, James J. Dillon does not have a manager's card in Legends of Wrestling. He's got a wrestling card with a distractor rating, so we are going to use the old-fashioned manager interference chart. Bearing in mind that there's no disqualification in this match, on a roll of 11, your manager tries to interfere, but the opponent whips you into the manager for a big collision. Then the opponent uses his finisher on you. Roll your pin plus the opponent's finisher rating. Wow, big move for Vader, as Vader and James J. Dillon knock heads on the ring apron. Vader with a released powerbomb. The pin roll now 6 or lower, and on a roll of 5, he got him. How about that? A dominant performance by Big Van Vader, winning with the released powerbomb. We have a new North American Heavyweight Champion here in Washington, D.C., as Johnny Valentine goes down to defeat, in no small measure due to a collision on the ring apron with James J. Dillon. Just making some notes here as we say congratulations to your winner and new North American Heavyweight Champion, Big Van Vader. So Vader does it all here tonight in Washington, D.C. He was the lead singer in the opening introduction tune of Happy Birthday to Epic Dave, along with his bandmates, Paul Bearer, Mark Henry, and Rowdy Roddy Piper, collectively known as Bagpipes, Body Slams, and Beatboxing. Will we see a little funky beatboxing celebration after the match here? On a roll of 6, we will, we'll see a little impromptu action from Vader on the microphone, accompanied in the background by Percy Pringle III in celebration of the new North American Heavyweight Championship. Who's paying off these refs, says Jeff Stafford. Okay, here's an interesting question from Miho Burns. Is it me, or does the J.J. Dillon pick look like a Cody Rhodes cosplay? Well, let's see. Yeah, I can actually see it a little bit. He's got the golden hair. He's got the square jaw. He's got the suit. Put a towel around his neck and take the glasses off, and dude, you might be onto something. He came, he saw, he kicked Valentine's ass. I love it. All right, and Cleveland baseball fan 879, welcome to the chat room. You're here just in time for tonight's main event of the evening. And gosh, the way things have been going, this may not be much longer than the previous two matches. But the following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 60-minute time limit. Disqualification rules will be in effect. This is for the Patriot Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first the challenger out of Robbinsdale, Minnesota. He stands at 6'4". He weighs 246 pounds. He is the ravishing one, Rick Rude. And his opponent is your reigning and defending Patriot Heavyweight Champion from Camden, New Jersey. Standing at 6'1", weighing 227 pounds, the original Nature Boy, Buddy Rogers. And Jeff Stafford now can't unsee it. Cody's Halloween costume better than Stardust. Yeah, how about that? Now we need a... And now as I sit here and reflect on this, I've got a new angle coming to mind. James J. Dillon is going to circulate a rumor that he is the true father of Cody Rhodes. And we'll do a little side by side and yeah, that's a good little angle. So we're gonna have a little paternity dispute between Dusty Rhodes and James J. Dillon over the parentage of one Cody Rhodes. All right. So yeah, I get my best ideas from the chat room here. So thank you. Was it Jeff who originally planted that idea, or let's see, Cody cosplay? No, it was Miho Burns that planted the idea, and Jeff Stafford picked it up, and now we're going to run with it. Unless Miho, you want that for your own fed. So if you want to run with that angle in your federation, then go for it. But if not, that may be the next swerve in the twisted history of the Heartland. All right, but ladies and gentlemen, all kidding aside, it is time now for a championship match. Buddy Rogers defending the Patriot Heavyweight Championship, the top title in the territory, against the challenge of one ravishing Rick Rude. And it is, oh my goodness, both men rolling 6 on the opening initiative roll. So we go back to the Face to the Mat book with ravishing Rick Rude on the controls. And on a roll of 3-4, is there a foreign object in play? Yes, there is, because there's the championship belt here. Opponent grabs wrestler's object, discards it, and then slams wrestler to the mat. Opponent scores 3 points. Well, we don't give points in this match. But, yeah, so Rick Rude just grabs the... Buddy Rogers tried to hit Rick Rude with his belt. Rick Rude grabs the belt, tosses it aside, and we'll say he pile drives Buddy Rogers right onto the belt in the center of the ring. And Rick Rude is going to start this match on level 3 offense, and he's immediately going to the Rude Awakening. We may see a surprise here in Washington, D.C. The pin roll is 3 or lower, and on a roll of 7, Buddy Rogers just able to kick out. But fireworks to start this match off as Rick Rude is taking control, and Rick Rude is now going for the camel clutch. He's going to weaken Buddy Rogers with that. Rude following up with a swinging neck breaker. Again, he goes for the cover. The pin roll is snake eyes, but on a roll of 9, Buddy Rogers able to kick out once again. Rude in full attack mode here to open this match. And Rude now hits the Rude Awakening again. The pin roll now 5 or lower. And on a roll of 8, Rogers kicks out. Wow, Rogers now at 3 tokens of fatigue. And not yet busted open. But Rick Rude is on the offensive. Rude hits the Rude Awakening again. 3 6s in a row. And now the pin roll is 6 or lower. And on a roll of 9, Rogers kicks out again, but now he is busted open. And Rogers is weakened under the assault of Rick Rude. Rude hits the Rude Awakening again. Wow! That's like 3 or 4 in a row. The pin roll now 7 or lower. And on a roll of snake eyes, Rogers just barely gets his leg over the bottom rope. Buddy Rogers has had all he can take here from Rick Rude. Can Rick Rude hit the Rude Awakening yet again? No, this time he hits a sledgehammer off the top rope. And Rogers now slowly starting to get to his feet. Rude's on him. Rude with a big suplex, taking Rogers over and down to the canvas again. And Rogers now is slow to get to his feet. Rude with a whip to the turnbuckle. Off the turnbuckle comes Buddy Rogers, but on a roll of 9, it is a big kick from Rick Rude that stuns Buddy Rogers. Rude now back in control, going for another swinging neck breaker, putting Rogers back down to the canvas. Rogers in all kinds of trouble here. What's Rick Rude going to do now? And he hits another. He hit another 6, another Rude Awakening. The pin roll now is 8. And on a roll of 8, he got him. Wow, I didn't think that match would take long, but I did not think it was going to be Rick Rude dominating that match. This looks to be a routine title defense for Rogers against Rick Rude, but it is Rude with a Rude Awakening, repeated Rude Awakenings, who takes down Buddy Rogers to win the North American Heavyweight Championship right here in Washington, D.C. What a shocker in the main event. That's got to be one of the most surprising outcomes of a match. By all accounts, Rogers would have been the favorite in this match. But certainly nobody expected Rude to come out and just lay down that kind of a butt kicking to Buddy Rogers and take the title in the center of the ring with a Rude Awakening. Congratulations to Rick Rude. He has had enough of those DC sweat hogs, says Cleveland Baseball Fan 879, and we have a new champion here in Washington, D.C. Congratulations to Rick Rude. Both the major single titles in the Patriot Championship Wrestling territory have changed hands here tonight in D.C. as VADER wins the North American Heavyweight Championship, and Rick Rude is your winner in tonight's main event, and he is your new Patriot Heavyweight Champion. Heels rule, baby, says Jeff Stafford. Buddy is a fat, out-of-shape senior citizen sweat hog. I love it. Good stuff here tonight in the Dave Cave. Thank you for everybody who has come out tonight. And as I mentioned, next week, not sure what's happening. Next week over in Milwaukee, just about an hour and a half away from here, is a local Milwaukee meetup for the Play.con community. Keith Avalone, the creative force behind Play.com, is actually a native of eastern Wisconsin. And Travis Jansen has managed to wrangle Keith to come back for a day of Play.com get-togethers over in Milwaukee. Not sure how late into the afternoon that will go. Not sure whether or not we will be able to get back in time for a broadcast, maybe an evening broadcast next weekend of the pay-per-view broadcast of the Twilight Zone pay-per-view. So we will see what happens. Great card once again, Dave. Excelsior, thank you, Jeff Stafford. Thank you, Dwayne Martz. Thank you to everybody. Let's run the list. Dwayne Martz YouTube Network. Check out that wonderful channel. Miho Burns. The creative force behind tonight's new Heartland angle is James J. Dillon, the real-life father of one Cody Rhodes. Jeff Stafford. Neil Lau. Mark Ferguson. Sorry I missed you coming in, Mark. Let's see. Jeff Mark. Cleveland Baseball Fan 879. Al Red Sox Fan. Bear 805. Thank you, Bear, for stopping by. Miss Bear coming in. Thank you for tuning in. I know Derek Bauman was here earlier in the show. Derek always greets the chat room, but then kind of goes on the QT. And I think what Derek does, Derek probably has a skybox way up above the ring, and that's why he's not down at ringside chatting with the rest of the crew, because he's up in his own skybox. Hey Al, what's your email? Would love to add you to my wrestling. Okay, yeah. So Al, Mark sends out a wrestling newsletter. Some big news from Mark's Federation this week, a new personality added to the mix that I am very much looking forward to seeing. That's everything for tonight. Next Saturday night, we'll just play it by ear and get onto the channel when we have the opportunity. And of course, for those of you so inclined, tomorrow morning, My Journey with Jesus returns to the YouTube channel as we talk about some more wisdom from the book of Psalms. So we hope to see you there. We hope to see you here next week. And until then, thank you all for tuning in this week. That's our stream, and I am out of here.